So we're gonna go straight into the topic, bro. All right.
What? So you're serious that day we were watching Squid Game. You went home, you finished it.
Yeah. So basically, the day that we watched it, I went home. I had a 6-hour drive the next day.
Yeah.
So wait.
No, well, first of all, tell us what time did you leave my house?
So I came to his house to record the last podcast, and then we watched Squid Game. No, we watched Malignant. Maligna. I watched Malignant at your house.
Yeah.
And then we watched like 2 episodes. Was it 2 or 1? 2 episodes
of Squid Game. Yeah, we watched
of
2.
Squid Game, and I left his house at around, I would say, 12 midnight. But the next day I had to go on a trip to up north to Sacramento, and it was a 7-hour drive. So basically,
What time did you have to leave?
we leave at 7 a.m. So I had to be there at like 5:30.
Okay, so you left my house at 12.
Yeah.
That means you had to be up in like 5 hours.
Yep.
So what did you do for freaking 5 hours?
So I got home. I was like, knowing me,
Yeah.
I need at least 9 hours of sleep.
Okay, I agree with that.
But I got home at 12, so it'd be around 4 hours of sleep because I haven't packed. I don't know why I always pack last minute. So I'm like, well, I'm driving. I could just probably sleep in the car while the homie's driving.
Mm.
So I was like, why not just finish Squid Game? And I watched episode 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 9.
Yeah.
And when I got to episode 9, I was kind of skimming because it was at 5 o'clock. and then I packed real quick, and then I zipped.
There was only 9 episodes, right?
Yeah, it was only 9.
Each episode's like an hour.
Each episode was around an hour, except episode 8, which was like 30 minutes.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just editing. Well, I didn't really edit. I just had it open, and I watched the show.
Uh-huh.
And I was playing 2K actually and watching the show.
What did you? So you watched it in English then?
Huh?
Did you end up watching it in English?
Kind of. Because like I said,
Well, I mean, if you're playing, you have to watch. Otherwise, you're not gonna be.
Yeah, like I said, watching it is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Reading the subtitles is another thing for me because I do not have the patience for it.
Yeah.
So I had to watch it in English. Now realizing it, the English acting was not that good.
That's what I'm saying. See, the thing is, people argue that subs is bad. The thing with subs is there's no problem with watching dub. You can do whatever language you want to watch the show in, you can watch it.
Yeah.
But you can connect to the character more. Like you feel the character more when it's in the real language. Like when it's a Korean show, they're speaking Korean. That's the actual actor speaking. So it's just.
Watching Squid Game, I liked it a lot.
Mm.
But the thing that I do not like is there are certain unanswered questions that I would like to address today.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have some too. So we're going to go over that just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Because Squid Game is making its way to be not only the most popular show in Korea,
The most popular Netflix show, right?
it's going to become the most popular Netflix show in the world.
Crazy.
Because there's Korean Netflix, and you know how there's each country has its own Netflix.
Uh-huh.
Like how freaking in the UK you can get like shows like Fairly Odd Parents or something, and then you can't get it here. You have to use a VPN.
Mm-hmm.
So in Korea, it's becoming the top Netflix show, but now in general, it's becoming the top Netflix show in the world.
Wait, how did you hear about it though? When I first heard about it, I was just scrolling to TikTok, and then they were recording the first episode, the first game. I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, so I heard about it because conspiracy theories started coming out for Squid Game.
Mm.
And then I was like, what the hell is Squid Game? And then I found out it's a Korean show, which I'm like, I want to watch it, but I don't want to read the subtitles. Because I tried doing that with Parasite.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah. And I just fell asleep.
amazing.
Because, number one, Parasite is a great movie. I'm sure I haven't finished it, but just reading the subtitle itself, it got me so bored.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just personal preference, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, is there an English? I'm sure there's an English option.
I don't know. When it came out, I just watched it illegally, so.
No, but Parasite, I think it's on Netflix. No, didn't it come out on Netflix?
I don't got Netflix like that, bro.
I was telling that to one of our friends too, that Koreans make some very good shows.
Yeah.
I mean, Parasite, which is a movie, but I guess Train to Busan, I haven't watched it to be honest. Have you seen Train to Busan?
No.
Yeah, but Squid Game was amazing. Let's just talk about Squid Game.
I'm not new to Korean drama.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it before, but they're all Vietnamese dubbed. Back in the days, there was one where it was like the brother fell in love with this girl that attended a university, but that girl was her professor. I'm gonna leave that up, by the way. But then she somehow fell in love with him.
Yeah.
That he introduced her to his family,
Yeah.
and then his brother ended up dating her.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole it's a
It was a
bunch.
drama.
Yeah.
It was a Korean drama, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
I've
about
seen
Korean
plenty
dramas.
of Korean drama, but I just never any that's dubbed or any that's subbed. So my first time to it. But so Squid Game, basically, for those of you who don't know, and like spoiler, this is spoiler if you don't want to
Yeah.
listen.
We finished the series. We finished it in one day.
In Asia, there's a lot of kids game like how it is in the US, but Squid Game is apparently common kid
Yeah,
game.
it's an actual children's game.
Yeah, it's an actual children's game in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
So this show is basically the whole point of the show is to teach a lesson. I feel like it's like human nature. No matter how civilized you are, in in a setting where there's no rules to govern you, there's no authority.
Mm-hmm.
Human nature will eventually revert back to evil. And the whole question of the old guy El Nam, are humans actually evil or are they actually good?
Yeah.
That's why he made the bet at the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
So for me, when I was watching it, I like to dissect everything I can. So here's what my take of it, and we'll take your take. All right, Squid Game is about these people who are given another chance at life.
Okay.
Not like a rebirth or anything, but another chance to regain their financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing so, it will cost them their lives.
Yeah.
So it puts it at a point where do you put yourself first, or do you let go of your morals as a human and commit sins and commit murders and stuff like that?
But they didn't know about that in the beginning.
They didn't.
Yeah.
I have so many theories going into this, and some theories that I came up myself. Actually, did I? Yeah, I came up with this theory myself. I have not seen it on TikTok, so I want to address it as well.
Yeah.
So, Squid Game follows this character. I don't know their names too well. What's his name?
The main one
Yeah.
is Gi-hun.
Gi-hun, right?
Yeah, Gi.
He's like basically the worst possible scenario you could imagine yourself to be, as in 40 living with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
and your mom is
Like
struggling.
feeding off his mom, basically.
Yeah, and then you're stealing money from your mom to go gamble. You lost custody of your daughter. Your wife is, in a happy marriage with another person,
Man, yep.
and
Well,
he's about to lose his daughter for good because she's moving to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
The only way he can get that back is basically get money, and he is in a lot of debt, and there's gangsters looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
His mom is disappointed in him. It's either death seems like a better option at this point.
Yeah.
He went to a train station, right, or something, or how does it?
He was trying to go onto the train. He missed the train. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he was trying to go back home, so he missed the train, and then this recruiter came, tricked him into playing this game. I feel like that scenario, bro.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the little cup game that you play, that people be playing at Vegas.
Oh, the scams.
Yeah, the scam where they put one ball into 3 different cups.
Yeah.
The first few times they let you win, they build your hype.
But the person who's winning is in on it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this is kind of like the opposite, but the end result it's the same. Meaning that the recruiter, let him lose a couple games, slaps him as a form of payment, and then the moment Gi-hun wins, he wins a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then that already sets him up for oh shit, it might be legit. So he gave him the card, like, hey, you want to win more money? Come to us. It's kind of like the casino, bro.
Yeah.
It's like they capture your hype and they try to lure you in.
Dopamine release.
Yeah.
So what's your theory? Is that your theory?
No. I'm just going some background. So basically,
well, since we're on that part, there's actually a theory I heard about. So you know that game, right? So there was 2 envelopes or something, right? One blue and one pink.
yeah,
And the objective of the game was to, whatever color you choose, the other one is on the ground, and you have to throw your envelope at the other one and make it flip over.
Yeah.
Right. But the theory is this, right? You know how when they get to the game, the facility or whatever.
yeah. I think I heard this too, but go ahead.
There's blue people and there's pink people.
Red, yeah.
Right. When the recruiter comes and they ask, pick a color, which envelope you want to choose. There's a blue envelope and a pink envelope. So the theory is that depending on which envelope you choose is the role you play in the game, because the pink people were also numbered, and they were referred to by their numbers, just like the
and the fact that they're not allowed to see each other.
Yeah.
The moment they get unmasked,
they die.
Then they die. So I feel like that is a good theory out there. But also notice how throughout the show, Gi-hun, is that his name? He plays as the blue people, right? Like the contestants.
Yeah.
But at the end of the show, he dyed his hair color red. So that could signify that he could come back.
Yeah.
As what is it called, a soldier?
Or like a
red
worker.
person.
But you know what? Another thing I thought about him dyeing his hair red too was that he dyed his hair red after he had the last meeting with Ilnam, right?
Yeah.
And then he finally decides to use his money and try to live a different life.
Yeah.
Then he dyes his hair red before he does that, signifying a character change.
Oh,
a change in perspective, like he's different.
Because a lot
now.
of people, when they dye their hair, it's like a new change for them.
Yeah. But like red, like from black to such a red, it's like such a huge change. You know, it's like a completely different person now.
That signifies a character change for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I was reading up on the show that the writer of the show grew up with a lot of influence on comics.
Okay.
He read a lot of comics and he started writing the script in somewhere in the mid 2000s and he finished in 2009.
Really?
So this script has been a long time coming.
Well, because I guess he used to play this.
So it's about 11 years apart. And when he finished the script, basically when he pitched it to a lot of studios and stuff, they said it was too violent and too complicated to make. And they're kind of like, why would we want to make a show about adults playing kids gaming and getting killed for it?
Yeah.
So at that time, I mean, I'm kind of glad that they waited, because now with the new technology with green screens and all the visual effects, it's so much better.
And not only that, maybe in like 2009 it wasn't as common to have those kind of shows in Korea. I don't know.
I don't think Netflix was around in 2009.
I don't know.
No, it was around since 2001, 2005, but the streaming service was not popular.
Yeah.
So for Netflix,
because now people have fast internet.
So for Netflix to be able to pick this up, that's a huge W. Netflix doesn't take too many W's, but this is one of them. And then another theory. Okay, I'll go into my theory right now.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole premise of the show is that these contestants, they're there for a reason. Each one has a personal reason, but they're all there for the same price. But forget about that. Just think of them as show animals.
Okay. Like horses, like they will call
Right.
it.
And who are the people that watches them?
The people with the mask, the VIPs.
The VIPs.
Yeah.
And the VIPs are the billionaires and millionaires of the world where they have nothing to do better their money.
Yeah.
So they go to these islands to watch people get tortured, killed, and all that, right? And it kind of plays back to like when Gi-hoon in the beginning, he was betting on horses.
Yeah.
The horses don't know they're being bet on. All they know is that if they win, they could get rewards as in food or something, right? So to them, the food is meaningful to them, right?
Yeah.
But the billionaires, to them, is entertainment.
Exactly.
Right? Where is the game located?
An island?
On an island.
Yeah.
So isn't that similar to Epstein's Island?
I don't know what that is, bro.
You never heard of Epstein's Island?
Epstein's Island? No.
Jeffrey Epstein?
I've heard of Jeffrey Epstein, but I don't know the scandal behind it. I'm not too familiar
So
with it.
how like Jeffrey Epstein would be involved in sex trafficking little girls, brings them to the island, and the billionaires of the world. He had a flight list of the billionaires, and like I think Bill Gates was on it.
No way.
Donald Trump was on it. A bunch of celebrities were on it.
So you think those people went there?
I mean, that's why he got arrested.
Yeah.
And that's why they got rid of him.
Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire?
Yeah. So who is also rich? Who is the owner of the island? No. And he's a billionaire. And he said, we had nothing better to do with our money, so we created this game.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like it's kind of like predictive programming, where they're trying to illustrate the reality of what has been happening for hundreds of years, where the rich people, money speaks, so they get to do anything they want.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Epstein's case was an example of that. He was sex trafficking girls, bringing girls into the islands. Who knows what these billionaires came to do with these girls.
Well, you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, yeah. But even in the show, right? Remember that billionaire who came?
Yeah.
And
he said, if you can please me, I'm like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of paints out these people are very sick-minded, and they're billionaires, and for them to have these type of power with money to do things like this, don't you see the correlation?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. You're saying like the theory is basically he was basing it off Jeffrey Epstein, but
not based off Jeffrey Epstein, but based off what the rich people have been doing for centuries.
Yes.
And an example of that, which I can relate closely to, is the Jeffrey Epstein Island.
Yeah.
Because Epstein Island, it's kind of like that.
When was Epstein?
In 2017.
So that's funny because this script was finished in 2009. So that means, like you're saying, predictive programming, where billionaires and all these rich people they're just like that almost. Like,
right.
That's crazy.
So that's a theory that I kind of relate to, where I haven't really heard anyone kind of tie it to that.
Yeah.
So if y'all take my theories, credit me. But another thing is that have you read Lord of the Flies? A
long time ago.
Back in high school, right?
Elementary school.
So Lord of the Flies is basically about these group of kids get stranded on an island, and then how over time their civil morality begins to decrease as they become one with nature. How they revert back to their old human instincts. What is human instincts, by the way?
Survival.
Just at the end of the day, we're animals, so we gotta do whatever it is to survive. So now we put a bunch of these people on the island. Yeah, they have some kind of authority governing them. That's why they behave when they go to sleep and stuff. But the moment that what's that guy, the main antagonist with the tattoo?
The one with the black. Oh, the one of the players, the one with long hair.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, the guy with the tattoo.
Long hair. Yeah.
The guy with the tattoo. He's the main antagonist.
Gangster.
So the moment he accidentally killed someone, everyone in the room was expecting a repercussion, like some kind of consequence, but nothing happened. So the moment they knew that, hey, there's no more governing, no more power structure to keep us civil, what began to happen? They started killing people left and right at night.
Yeah.
So it just kind of relates to how Lord of the Flies, the kids are kids that haven't seen the world that much.
Yeah.
And for them to revert to killing all their friends, and now for adults to come back to the island to be kids again, and now they're killing their own kind. Isn't that crazy how you go back to the island, you play kids game, and how this level of innocence while playing kids game, but they take it and they twist it to where they're adults now playing kids game, but they still... I don't know, man. It's kind of weird.
The crazy thing too is like, so before they started killing each other at nighttime, they purposely said, oh, they're starving you, like they purposely gave them less food and starved them that day to make them like all like agitated and mad, to make them agitated and mad, right? And the crazy thing is they were starving them of food, right? Quote unquote, like literally starving them of food. But like you're saying, how they made them back to like the survival they were starving them of their humanity. They're literally saying like, you are not humans anymore, you guys are animals. How they're treating them, like as soon as there's time for a game, everyone has to play and abide by it or you will die. Like everyone was so afraid to die, they just played. Even though they might have died doing that as well.
In Lord of the Flies, the moment they started fighting was when there was food scarcity.
Okay, yeah. That's one of the main things.
When you're on the edge of survival, I feel like no matter who you are, no matter what background you come from, we will all come back to this human instinct.
That's why I kind of defend Sung-woo. Sung-woo, the guy.
Yeah.
So the reason I defend him a bit, right, is because everyone is hitting on him, saying that he killed and he's
you gotta do that.
But the thing is, and first of all, he shouldn't have been in that situation anyways. Like he lost all his money, he was in severe debt, and he put his mom's property as collateral in her business and everything. So he put himself in that situation. But he can't sit there and dwell on the past. He was doing it because he needed to help his mom. He needed to now make up for his mistakes and help his mom. So,
right, and also since they paint in the show, he's like a businessman. He's using businessman tactics to get to the end.
Yeah.
Like he manipulates people. While Gi-hun, he's a very good character at heart, but because he is good, when you go back to his normal life, he has nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas Sung-woo, he had money, but just like he owns a lot of it. So how did he get to owning a lot of money? Well, I'm pretty sure he was successful at one point. Because
you have to remember too, like during the show when Gi-hun would bring up that he was like a graduate of the school and everything and top in the class, he would kind of like look away. So I don't think they were saying like he faked it, So he didn't actually graduate and do all those things in life. He was like a scammer, pretty much.
There's a lot of hints throughout the shows that shows that, especially when he asked the team to split up. So there's a lot of little hints throughout the show that he's a two-faced. Bro, if I'm in a life or death situation, I'm doing that shit too.
Good. That's one thing too. What would
Cause think about it, bro. Like you're literally down to your last marble. If you just accept it and like, oh, this guy's been good to me, then you're not meant to survive, of course. But he tricked Ollie to do that. So Ollie, I feel bad for his character because he's such a nice person, right? But if you're gonna fall for that, man, I don't know if you deserve to live, because you're at a point where you know that you go to this island, it's either life or death. You can't leave no more. They gave you a chance to leave in the beginning. But you came back for a reason.
Well, okay, so if you were in that situation and a very close friend of yours or someone was also in there with you, what would you do?
I'll be like, hey man, I'll tell your family that you send your best wishes.
Bro, that thing is it's like, see, the thing is, we can always say like, oh, we would do this and that in a situation, but when it comes down to it, we're different.
Bro, think about this, bro. Before the marble game started, they said pick a partner. So people obviously they said, okay, I'm gonna pick someone I trust.
Yeah.
And then they flipped the script, and they're like, oh, it's either you or your partner that's gonna die. So one of y'all have to win the marble game.
You know how like in TikTok, right? Like for example, you see like a video of a Karen, and people in the comments were like, oh, if I was there, I would have smacked the shit, or I did this to her, right? But in reality, like maybe you will, but when you're in that situation, it's different. Like there's so many videos of like on a train. There was a video I was watching today. There was a train station. Oh, sorry, inside the train. A girl was going off onto like black kids, right?
Oh, really?
And she was just yelling at them and like hitting them and stuff or something. And everyone was just sitting and watching. Like these people in all these different videos are different, and like this show is not. It didn't happen in real life, but we can always say we would do this and that. But when it comes down to it,
Yeah.
you don't know what you would do.
If I was in a life or death situation, I would do anything I can to survive and then worry about the mental drama later. Dude, the guy and his wife. Imagine if you know how the lady got left out. I don't know her name. She didn't get picked, so they took her back to the cabin or whatever. Imagine if the guy with his wife would have picked her. His wife would still be alive.
Yeah. Well, for that time, you don't know if she would die.
Yeah. But he had to witness himself killing his wife, basically, because he won the game, and then he ended up later, killing himself. But the wife could have survived if he.
But what Sang-woo said was very important because he told him, he said, you should have, if you're gonna complain like this, you should have died in her place. Why are you alive then? Right? Because he could have made the decision to let her live.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some internal conflict between the husband and wife. But see, I think in that situation, Sang-woo was the most real, almost, you could say. Like he did the things to survive. He really wanted to survive.
Yeah, because if you have to kill your own wife like that, man, it's dramatizing, but you got to continue fighting because you guys were there for a reason. So for him to go down like that, I was like, damn, you're not a main character type of person. Okay, so let's talk about, you know how when the guy with the tattoo, right? He kept pushing everyone off the glass, and then he was there himself in the beginning. He said, I'm not gonna be the next one to make I'm not gonna be the next one to make a move.
Yeah, you guys go and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, if no one makes a move, we're all gonna stay here till the time ends, and we're.
He's like, he basically said, I'm not gonna die for you. We're all gonna die together. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the lady that he effed over, she came and wrapped her hand around him, and they both fell off. Which to me makes no damn sense in the script because in the beginning, she was the first one to beg, saying that I haven't even named my son.
Yes.
So I'm like, you really gonna let a stranger who you guys effed one time, right?
Yeah.
And now he screws you over, and you're really gonna throw your life away, not thinking about your son. So I don't know if that's a flaw in the script or anything.
No. So what I think, right? So when she came back, right? Because everyone came back pretty much, right? They had like a 93% return rate or something like that. So when she came back, she was playing all like, oh yeah, let me be on your team, I can do all this and that. She's looking out for herself, right? But I think what she did in the beginning was she was BSing about her son because she was just so desperate to get out, and then she realized, I need the money. So I think that was her being that character. Like she's just saying, oh, my son, so you could feel bad for her and let her go, That's what it was, I think. Because that's what she was doing throughout the whole show, just like, feel bad for me, I want to be with you, or I can do this and this.
And what another theory or another connection that I feel like the show is trying to make is into human trafficking. How a lot of these billionaires and stuff, they traffic human after they're done with them. They take their organ.
So yeah, but those were, you have to remember. So you know how the theory is saying like, oh, if you're pink, you're the worker. So those people who are trafficking the human organs, like the doctor that was there, those were the workers, right? So they were doing it for their own benefit, their own problem. Because remember when they found him, he said, I don't care. The guy with the black mask, he was like, I don't care what you guys do. If you want to traffic organs, whatever, but just don't cheat or don't give people like.
Yeah, because it's like a whole pyramid going down. How the people at the top, they already get the money, and the people that are the workers, they're just bottom feeders.
Yeah.
How like after they're done with how people at the people at the top, right? The VIPs, after they're done watching someone get killed, they're like, okay, move on to the next person. Yeah. So the body falls down to the next level, and then what is that next level? The workers, and the workers harvest their organ, and that's freaking crazy. That's like real life stuff because this stuff be happening too.
Oh yeah, this world is crazy. I mean, there's so many people who are being kidnapped. Whatever, like they kill them, sell their organs.
Yeah, and when you think about it, there's actually people that pay to watch other people get tortured on the dark web and stuff too, like a live stream and stuff.
That's crazy.
And this is like, this show just ties everything together that's happening around the world in the sick minds of the billionaires. It just sums up everything.
That's crazy because we think that the show is not real. But in fact, it is.
In some way, it's real. Maybe not to that extreme. Maybe not to that extreme, but yeah. I mean, just
no. But think about it, right? There's probably not no red light, green light, freaking robot, right? But like you just said, on the dark web, people watching live stream.
Oh yeah.
That's extreme, bro.
And they watch live streams before in the show, but then they come to the island for the finale. And did you also know that the Squid Game is also worldwide? Because the VIP's saying like, oh, I think Korea has the best one. So which means that there are other ones happening. And let's talk about the old guy though, because I called it out the moment I saw it.
Called what out?
The night where we watched the first episode, I'm like, I think the old guy is bad.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said I think the old guy is evil.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And now when you think about it,
but do you think he's evil?
I think Gi-hun's dead. No, dead ass. Because think about this. When it comes to shows or movies, you guys have to realize that there's going to be a lot of symbolism and a lot of hints and a lot of foreshadowing, right? So what number is the old man? One, right? And what number is Gihan?
Yep, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6, right? So they're opposites of each other. And then somehow the bonding, he allows Gihan to survive. The marble game, he pretend that he had dementia. He allowed him to trick him and gave him the last marble to survive, right? But in the marble game, how they recreated the village, he's saying, "Oh, I remember this. This is like my village."
But do you think Ilnam knew that he's his father?
No, Ilnam knows. I think Ilnam knows that that's his son.
Okay, yeah. So I think what he was doing, the dementia part, I think he was doing it on purpose because Gi-hun lived in the same. So he was doing it on purpose to kind of hint to Gi-hun that I'm your father. Like, oh, I
yeah, because he said I used to live here, and then Gi-hun is like, "Oh yeah, I remember this. I used to live here with my dad." And it's literally because throughout the whole show, you never hear about his dad.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the lactose intolerant part, how he's like, "Oh, my son used to be lactose intolerant too."
No, he said like
something like
he
that.
He said, was like, "Oh, do you have chocolate milk instead? I can't drink regular milk, whatever, right?" And then Ilnam laughs and he goes, "Your father must have beat you a lot as a kid, right?" And he's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because I did the same thing to my son."
Oh yeah. So that kind of like it's like symbolizing something. Yeah. And then how?
But like you would think, like a normal person would think, like he's just bonding with him, like being like a friend or building relation, building rapport. Like, oh, we have the same similarities. I beat my son. You got beat by your dad. Or whatever it is.
And I think for him to die at the marble game, that would be the best place for him to die, because throughout the whole show he knew that, okay, I'm the owner, no one's gonna kill me. He knows all the games and stuff, right? So he just wants to I feel like it's because since he missed out on Gi-hun's childhood, he invited Gi-hun back to do all these games with him, so he can kind of relive it, his kid playing these children's games.
Did you see so for Ilnam, did you see the video that was a TikTok done on the clues that the show give as to him being the leader or the founder? Did you see that?
Oh yeah, like when the robot turns around, how he's not really highlighted green and stuff like that.
I don't remember that. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Maybe that was, but the one where, so for example, remember when the police officer, he was going through the files and he was looking for his brother?
Oh yeah, Ilnam's profile wasn't there.
Yeah, because it started off with 002, it didn't start off with 001.
Yeah.
Right? His profile wasn't there. Then he, like you said, Ilnam knew the games and everything, and there was like a few other things too, but
oh yeah, or like when he stands on the bed and says stop, they turn the lights back on when everyone's murdering each other at midnight or something, and he stands on the bed, he's like, stop this, and then they stopped. They didn't have to listen to him. And then how like every time they pick partners, he was just chilling by himself.
Yes, because he knew that he wouldn't be eliminated. Remember, because when the girl, she didn't find a partner, they didn't eliminate him, right? Yeah. And so when he went in the corner, but also like since he's old, the marble game would be the best time for him to die, because the next game was he can't jump.
The next game was the glass one, and it would be too risky for him. But what confuses me kind of is how they preach this whole equality and everyone is treated equal. They have a fair playing ground. But the doctor cheated. They killed him, but they didn't kill the people that was on his team.
Well, they didn't.
Or at the glass panel thing, when they were doing that glass thing, the last guy, the fourth guy to die, in the end, he was a glass maker and he was examining the refraction and stuff.
No, well, that too. But not only that, like the first person is not as equal as the last person,
right?
Because the first one doesn't know,
right? And also, like, since he was examining, he's using his own skills to beat the game, but they turned off the light. How is that fair to anyone?
Well, the thing is, remember, they were trying to, at that point, they were trying to please the VIP.
Right, but I'm saying their whole motto is everyone gets a fair chance here, a restart. But how is that fair to anyone?
Yeah. Well, that's a great point right there, because you know how you're saying billionaires, right? Billionaires always bend the rules for themselves.
Right. So
they will say one thing, and then when it comes to like this, for example, like, oh, now it's boring. Okay, yeah, you're right. Let me turn the lights off.
Or the girl with the short hair, or because everyone is loving her character, because she's pretty, I guess. When the glass blew up, she got struck.
Ooh.
Right, and how's it giving it an even playing field? And they made it down to three. The three last people, they were about to face off at the Squid Game, and Sungwoo kills her, and there's no repercussion for that. So how's that an even playground?
Just so crazy, because right before Sungwoo kills her,
they said they were gonna stop the game together.
Yeah, that, and then Gi-hun was thinking about killing Sungwoo because he was falling asleep.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my goodness. But I want to bring up one thing too. and that you pointed out is the significance of ascending numbers.
Yeah, so I don't know about Korean culture, but I know like in some Asian culture, ascending number is a sign of good wealth or good fate. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'll see a lot of Asian people who are business people, and they have a lot of superstitions. They'll get their license plate with ascending numbers, or their phones with ascending numbers.
And that's crazy. You could kind of say like Gi-hun, since he was 4, 5, 6, which is ascending numbers, he had that on his side.
Yeah,
the good on his side or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but that's a pretty like I'm Asian, but South Asian being Pakistani, we wouldn't have known that. Or even if you're not Asian or from that culture, you wouldn't have known that. That's.
I hope that if they do a season 2, they'll be able to find someone to bring back some of the lovable characters. But the girl with the short hair, I don't know her name, but that was her acting debut.
Really?
Yeah, she's originally she's still a model. She's gonna be Korea's next top model.
Wow.
But that was her acting debut.
And she did good, I think.
Dude, when she was crying and shit, when that girl sacrificed herself to save that character, she was crying, and like something about Korean acting, that there's no such thing as bad Korean acting. I feel like, because they take their stuff so serious, bro.
Every actor in that movie was even Ali was. Ali's Indian. He's
Pakistani, bro.
No, his character is Pakistani.
Oh, but he's Indian?
Yeah, he's Indian.
Damn.
So, he's a great actor. Every single, even like the guy with the tattoo, I forgot his name, with long hair. He's a great, every single person.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, when a character makes you mad, emotions, it's because they're great actors.
Right, yeah.
You're like, I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
That's their character,
Right. Did you know that Gi-hun is actually the real actor? Is a very famous actor in Korea. Really? Yeah, he's kind of like Tony Leung, the one that played Wenwu from Shang-Chi, the dad, the Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
He's a very well-known actor too. Or how the aunt of Shang-Chi, she was in Crazy Rich Asian. For him to be in that show, he doesn't do shows. He's more of a movie guy. But for him to do that show, it's very...
Yeah, when actors do shows, when movie actors do shows, it's like that show is probably like has high budget.
Yeah,
sure.
So I was looking at the behind the scenes too. A lot of it, it's practical effect. Majority of it is more so CGI, which I couldn't even tell.
You could tell the blood was fake. That was kind of easy to tell.
Yeah, but
the blood acted, but everything else was pretty. The guy, the recruiter, the one that gives the envelopes, he's 40 years old.
Really?
And everyone is crushing on him.
Really?
Like guys are.
A lot of people are crushing on the girl with the short hair.
Well, yeah, but the guy, he's 40, and people are like, how do you look 40? He looks so young,
Also, the cop too. Let's talk about that.
Which cop? Oh yeah, the cop.
I feel like the cop will have his own spin-off series.
But he did.
Because,
He did. Oh, we don't know.
No, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, how? Okay, so remember when he's climbing up the mountain, right? And he's sending those files to his police chief or whatever, and some sent. In the last 2 videos, the really important ones didn't send, and then he tried to retry it, but we never see his phone again after that. So do you think they sent or they didn't?
I think that's gonna be covered in season 2, which means that they sent. But I think because the good thing about the writing of the show is that they're able to tell 2 simultaneous storylines at once. They switch back and forth, and the cop, he has a very good character arc. How he's able to just do all these things under the radar. How he uses his training to do all this, and in the end to find his lost brother, and it turns out his brother was the freaking...
Yeah, but how did that's one thing too, like his brother was a winner.
Yeah.
But how did his brother freaking become...
I think that's what Gi-hun's gonna explore in the next season, how he wins, and now he either has to stop it or takes it over.
I'm really excited to see, because you know how, you remember how the police officer, the way he got into the thing was by
under the car.
Yeah.
That's some Jackie Chan type stuff.
Bro, I totally forgot about it. If you're under the car like that, you know how hot the bottom of the car is? He would have burned his face.
And also, I don't think he died because he got shot in the shoulder. Not the heart.
We don't know where he fell,
And he fell into the ocean. Usually, a lot of shows that I've watched, it's like the character's coming back for sure. Yeah. Because...
Well, maybe Gi-hun and him go together.
I think so. But... Here's another thing that I see. It's very similar. You know how I pointed out how human nature is evil. How I compare it to Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
This show is very similar to Lost.
Okay.
Have you seen Lost?
Yeah, Lost is ass.
It's good, but it's bad towards the ending. But at one point in the show Lost, all the survivors were able to leave the island. But for some reason, they decided to come back because the island was calling to them.
Really?
So they haven't really finished their purpose.
The island. What?
You know how like in the beginning the old man was the tiebreaker? How I predicted that too? He basically gave people...
No, you didn't have to predict it. I didn't even realize, but they were voting from from last to first.
No, but you didn't know that it was gonna be that even. How?
Oh, yes.
Right. He was gonna be the tiebreaker. He could have been like on one side it's lopsided, right?
True.
He gave everyone a chance to go back to their lives and not die.
Mm-hmm.
But once he did that, they realized that their life sucks and they came back. So it's very reminiscing of Lost.
So that makes sense. So for example, say you, or if you were in that situation, not in the game situation, but in a situation where you're in debt, like you owe loan sharks, you owe a bank, you're stealing from your mom pretty much, what would you do? I know you told me you said you would work, but if an opportunity like that where you can make easy money, or would you just try?
And I know that my life is on the line.
No. So let's say, like, for example, I come up to you and I'm like, hey, you play some games with me now, and I did the same thing pretty much, right? You don't know your life online. Would you take that route, or would you continue, like you said, working hard?
So if it's very urgent, I would probably take that.
Like
No, if my life was on the line, probably not. But since I don't know, I would probably say yes to it. But with that 45 billion and 600 million won, right? That's equivalent to $38 million. That's life-changing money right there, bro. Again, like people morals are going out the windows because of that.
Unfortunately, though, $38 million is life-changing. See, the thing is, everyone can pay off the loan shark, right?
But they're gonna inquire more loans.
Well, like, for example, if you have $38 million, there's some random person who knows nothing who's in that situation. Is probably because they don't know much about money. They were just kept taking loans and everything. So they can pay it off fine. They know that. But what are they going to do now? They don't know what to do with that money. They're going to go spend it, waste it.
Yeah, so if you just go from rags to riches, and this is what happens to a lot of lottery millionaires. How once you go to from rags to riches versus building wealth over time, you're not going to know how to spend that money wisely, right? Versus, let's say someone who's building their wealth from, for 20 years now, you give them $1 million, they're not going to know what, they're going to know what to do with it. They're going to take it, invest into real estate, buy stocks, buy rentals and all that, right? You give someone who's, making like,
you give it to someone who's already abusing money when they have none. Right. Imagine when they have some.
So either they're going to go broke within like a year, or they're gonna go broke and then acquire more debt, which causes them to come back. So it's always like, when is it enough, or what do you do with that money then?
I want to tell you the story actually, right? So there was this family, right? This is a real story, right? And the family, they won the lottery. I think they won like $7 million. Okay, you know what they did? The first thing they did is go and splurge. They bought like brand new cars, Mercedes. They bought it in Redlands, right? They bought a mansion and everything, right? And they stopped working. They were spending that money like crazy. And after 3 years, money is gone. Money is gone. And now in their house, first of all, they're working full-time jobs now. They have other families living with them. The house is fully crowded to pay for that, the house and everything. Like they're back to square one.
So my question is, if they had $7 million, why did they not pay off the house?
Well, exactly. So they're like, okay, they probably bought a house really more expensive, They don't want to buy a house cash because they want to use money for other things.
So if I really won $7 million, here's what I would do. First, I would take care of all debts first, right? 100%. Second, I would buy a house that's around $800,000 where my family just live in it and pay it off.
And pay cash.
Yeah, pay it off completely. With the rest of that, I would take it and I would fund it into my business, which I can grow. Get into real estate and then put it into the stock market. That's what I would do. Because what I've heard is that a lot of people who are like a lot of millionaires right now too, they can afford a lot of houses and all that. But the thing that make people go broke over time is maintaining a house, maintaining an expensive lot, maintaining their $300,000 car, because those are always gonna suck money out of your pocket no matter what.
Exactly.
Let's say you pay off a $7 million house and you stopped working. Do you know how much HOAs and property taxes and all that's gonna be? At least like $10,000 a month, something like that. So for me,
how much was the house?
Like an $800K house.
No, how much is that? You're saying if you spend how much on a house would be $10,000 a month?
I'm just guessing. I don't know the number. Yeah. How much would that be? Like let's say if I buy a $7 million house in Irvine, how much would maintenance cost per month do you think it would be?
Well, yeah, the maintenance, it depends on your lot size and everything, right? But let's just say you bought a $7 million house. Your property tax on $7 million is going to be at least 1.5%, right? So that comes up to $105,000 a year. And if you divide that by 12, that's about $8,000 to $9,000 a month in property tax.
There you go. So that's why when people make like $1 million a year and stuff like that, they go and they buy a $5 million house. I'm like, bro, just the property tax alone, it's like almost your yearly income. So they don't think about these things. They just think that if I can afford the rent, or if I can afford the mortgage, or I can afford the payment, that's it. But like, if you buy a house like that, if you don't work anymore when you retire, you're not gonna be able to afford that kind of lifestyle.
That's why some investors, they say in the beginning it's better not to buy a house, because people, they just look at the mortgage. They don't look at, like you said, HOA, property taxes. They don't look at the maintenance costs and everything. See, when renting a property, you're just worrying about the mortgage, and you have utility. I mean, sorry, not the mortgage, the rent, right? And you have utilities that you pay.
Right.
But I'm not paying property taxes on this property, or I'm not, worrying about maintenance. If something's wrong with the property, I call the landlord. The landlord comes by, or they send someone to fix it up. So in the beginning, it's always good. But yeah, that's the thing. Like Squid Game, Gi-hun won. We know he's going back to try to figure out what's going on.
I hope that they are able to bring back the last 3 people, because they're very good actors and actresses.
Well, they're dead.
Right, but I hope they find a way to bring him back. Like maybe like they have like some sort of thing where like they revive him, where they save him or something. Like, because
Yeah, that is great. They need a pretty much whole new cast if everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe by them having different cast member, it could create new sensation or new like involvement from the audience. But going back to how people should spend their money, how do you think an average high school student should be able to spend their money in order to have a wealthy life after? Let's say like I just got out of high school, right? I'm getting a minimum wage job. What should I do with my money?
Great question. So I think there's a huge emphasis on credit, right? So if you're 18 years old, you should definitely get a credit card
to get into debt.
Yeah, right. You get a college credit card, right? You get a college credit card. There's gonna be no annual fee,
okay,
right? And then they're probably gonna give you like at least a year of no interest.
Okay.
But the thing is, get a credit card to build credit, like not to get in debt. But that's what people do. They get credit cards, and they just max them out. You max them out. Okay, can you make sure you can pay it off?
Yeah.
That's fine. Go ahead, and if you can pay it off. But get a credit, like you can, like for example, you're a college student. Maybe you can go buy lunch, or you need to buy some books or whatever.
Yeah.
You can use your credit card, right? Then that money you get, you pay your credit card to start building credit that way, right? Now your minimum wage job, like, it's just a college kid that's living at home or on campus, or.
Let's say this college kid is going to a community college nearby, and he's living with his parents. And his parents are kind enough to not collect his rent.
Yeah.
So he has all the money in the world. He has no bills, no nothing.
Yeah, see, a lot of people have a negative stigma on community college, but I think going 2 years community college is one of the best things you can do. Go nearby, stay with your parents. People have the culture, like our cultures are different, right?
Right.
We have no problem living with our parents or taking care of our parents. And a lot of other cultures, at 18, I have to move out. I can't be with my parents. I need to live on my own. I need an apartment or this or that, and then all their money goes to the freaking rent every month. But if you have the ability to live with your parents, that's the best thing to do. You stay there. Now you're saving, let's just say $1,000 a month, because rent depends where you live, obviously, right? But let's just say 1,000, right?
Yeah.
You're saving $1,000 a month already in rent, right? Then you're close to community college, so obviously you might need a car so you can have some gas and all that expense. But you have to plan for that. Always have 6 months in reserves. Is what the ideal is, right? And just go to school, work on building your credit. Maybe you can even start like a side hustle or a business too.
Because for me, when I just got out of high school,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I fell into this trap too, but not too deep as other people. I got money and I started eating out a lot, hanging out with friends. But that was only short-lived because I realized that I could do so much more with this money. A lot of people I've seen or I've known from high school, they would get a job at like Chick-fil-A or something, right? And getting your first paycheck is a great feeling. Like making that first $500 in 2 weeks from your own hard work, it's amazing. And the next day they would go and they spend it on like new 2020 Mercedes. I'm like, bro, your whole paycheck is going to that car just for you to work at Chick-fil-A. Who are you gonna show that off to?
Like, people take out student loans to buy cars or buy liability. Do not do that. See, the thing, like for me, I've made mistakes, and like you said, you've made mistakes too, right? And that's why we can say these things, is we learn from what we've done. We're not gonna say that what we did was like we maxed out credit cards, or like I bought a car, and I wish I did. So we need cars, right? I wish I would have bought used, or would have bought something I could afford cash or something,
So the mistake I made was, since everything is electronic, I just swiped my card without looking. And after eating out a couple times, you know, it adds up. But the thing about credit card is that it takes a while to post the transaction to your account. So I check my account. I'm like, okay, I'm only, you know, paying $200, and then a week later I'm like, it's $600. I'm like, what the hell?
What do you mean?
Because you.
Oh, like total, like it adds up. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, I ate that much.
Bro, eating out.
Like,
bro, we eat out a lot, bro.
Yeah, like, dude, right now, just from my card alone, you guys sell me and all that, right? Like, because we cover each other and then we'll pay each other back.
Yeah.
But that money feels like I was never paid because it goes to my account and I spend, and it goes to my debit account and I spend that money that you guys send me on my debit account and it doesn't go towards paying the credit cards. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You get me? Because sometimes
it goes to your debit, but you never end up paying. Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, that's my money now. I'm like, I don't want to pay that. But look, bro, this is from eating out, bro.
How long was that?
Bro, this is like within a month and a half.
We went. Was a lot? No, like
there was a period where we went out almost every other day, and we ate good money. We ate good food, and that's why we're starting this podcast. We're starting this podcast because we're broke. To
fund our food.
And then hopefully this can pay for our food one day. Like I said, the setup we have is not going to be, you know, this is going to be more permanent. But if we do grow, our channel grows, you guys gain more audience and stuff. Oh, we gain more viewers and stuff. We'll upgrade our mics. We'll have a soundboard, you know, we'll have LED lights and everything. But yeah, but like I said, at the end of the day, if you don't want to be in the situation of the people that are in Squid Game, how they are in like
educate yourself.
Thousands of dollars in debt, if not millions or billions of dollars. The best thing to do is educate yourself on finance at a young age because in school, in the American system, it's designed to create workers, not thinkers. If you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but the whole school system right now, you know who that was designed by?
No.
John D. Rockefeller. Back then, Rockefeller gave money to the school system with the government saying, hey, I will fund you guys a lot of money only if you teach it my way. And he wants them to only teach things that workers know. He doesn't want thinkers because the nation wouldn't be as productive.
Dude, it's crazy because like I was thinking that too. Like, you know, we were talking about credit in high school. They don't even use the word credit.
No, in high school it's more so like they have classes on personal finance and all that, but they don't really know.
In high school,
like maybe like statistics and maybe like budgeting class, but like they don't really go into depth about here's how you should manage money. I had to learn from YouTube. I should not have to go to freaking Graham Stephan's channel and look up how to save my money to get a house. I should not go to freaking all these educational finance channels.
The thing is, like, you could say that's a little bit advanced, but they in high school they didn't even teach basic finance.
No.
They didn't even teach basic how to save money, how to
like in high school. All they care about is the whole high school system is hey, how good are you at following instruction, right?
Right. If you live in California, do what I did. So I took the chess.
Oh yeah. So here's a way. Okay, if you guys are in college right now and you guys are sick of college and you guys feel like, hey, my 16, 17, 18 years of high school that can be used for college.
18 years of high school.
Or no, like 18.
12 years.
If you guys are 16, 17, and 18 years old right now, are in high school. Well, if you're 18, might as well go through with it. But if you're 15, 16, 17, in Cali, we don't know about other states, but Shahir did this where he took this test that allows him to graduate early with a GED.
Yeah, basically like.
And you can go straight to community college, and that's what my brother did too. Yeah. You can do it as soon as you become a sophomore, or as soon as you turn 16, right?
Yeah. So if you turn 16 before you become a sophomore, which is crazy, you can take it then.
Yeah. So if y'all listening to this, I'm gonna post this on TikTok because I want y'all to do this. If you guys are sick of high school and feel like high school is nothing for you, there's nothing for you in high school, just go through your freshman year. Somewhere your freshman year of high school, sign up for what's called the California
High School Proficiency Exam.
California High School Proficiency Exam.
Yeah.
That exam is, like I said, it's very simple. It's even easier than the KC. It's easier than the SAT. It's easier than anything. All you do is put 1 week aside. Put 1 week aside for studying. You take it. It's like $200.
Yeah, something.
It's like $200.
I don't know if it's different.
But like I said, time is money. So you put out $200 and a week's worth of studying. You take that test, and within that 3 months, the summer going to sophomore year, you will get your results if you passed. You can sign up for community college in the fall.
Well, that's if they're 16.
Huh?
That's if they're 16.
Yeah. So you can. I hope you're 16. Then you take that test. You go to community college in the fall. Decide what you want to do. Take your general ed, and then by the time you switch to like a UC in California or or Cal State or wherever you want to go, you are basically a fourth year while your classmates are in their second year of college. So you have 2 years ahead, if not 3. I don't depending on your age and your school status. But yeah, that's how you can graduate high school early and ignore all this BS of high school because they're not going to teach you anything. So while you're in college at a young age, you have time to where you can work, or you can have time to learn about self-development and learning all the financial skills, all the business skills, and basically you can be an adult at the age of 16.
Yeah, if you think high school is not a waste of time, debate us.
Yeah, right. Put it in the comments if high school is not a waste of time. Yeah, you get to go to prom and all that BS, but
prove it.
But do you want to enjoy? 10 years down the line, are you gonna talk about prom, or are you gonna talk about how you made money at a young age? You let me know, cause Shahir did that, and I wish I did that, but I didn't because I didn't know what it was like. My brother is doing that right now, and he's already like 10 steps ahead of where I was when I was at his age.
What? Because he's 19, right?
Yeah, he just turned 19.
And what level of college is he in right now?
He's a third year.
Third year in college. You get out of high school when you're 18. So when you're 19, you should be like a first year or a second year. He's a third year in college.
Right.
19.
So when he graduates, he'll be when he graduates out of high when he graduates college, he'll be like 21 or 20.
2021, yeah.
And he has that experience because he's been working while he's in college. He's been working, as a graphic designer, as a computer guy.
He did our logo.
Yeah, so by the time he's done with that, his portfolio is stacked, and you don't get a lot of chances like that. So if you're in high school and you don't like high school and you don't like what high school has to offer, do what we said. Don't do what we said. Do it at your own discretion, and you'll see what we mean.
Well, the only reason you wouldn't take our advice is because you like wasting time. Because that's what high school is.
Low-key, high school is wasting time. Like, bro, you pay like what, $50 for an AP test or something like that?
Yeah, you have to pay for it, right?
Yeah. Or if you're in the low-income family, or you can get it waived. In general, you have to take the SAT.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, three of the homies I knew in high school, they spent over $1,000 for 3 weeks of SAT courses, bro.
Like tutoring?
Yeah, and I took that shit and I got the same grade. I'm like, bro. And I studied the night before. So I'm not saying that I'm smart or anything, but I'm saying like it's not that deep. I don't understand why parents, dude, this gets me so fired. I don't understand why parents, especially Asian parents, at such a young age, they force their kids to go to tutoring. When I was in 5th grade, bro, my parents put me in tutoring every single Saturday for like a year. And I tell my cousins and nephews nowadays, like, hey, elementary grades don't matter.
Yeah.
Middle school don't matter, because everyone has the same opportunity to go to the same elementary or middle school, no matter what grades you get. Mm-hmm. Once you get into high school, if you really want to go through all 4 years of high school and bet your chances of you getting straight A's or whatever to get into like UC Berkeley or Stanford or Harvard or whatever, go for it. But if you just do good, you take the exit to leave high school and to go to community college, that's when the actual grind begins, because you just do good at 2 years of community, and then you basically have a guaranteed transfer to any UC that you want besides Berkeley, I think, and UCLA. But if you do good, you can still you have a higher chance of getting into Berkeley than a student straight out of high school.
Exactly. And a friend of ours just went to Harvard out of community college.
Yeah, he went to Harvard Law School, right?
Yeah, he went to community college, UCLA, and now he graduated from UCLA with a bachelor's. Now he's at Harvard Law School.
Yes, that's the best thing about the U.S., and not a lot of people know about these things because the schools don't tell you that.
And he took the Chesapeake, by the way.
Yeah, there's so many paths and routes to go to where you want, or you don't after high school, you don't even have to go to college. If you have an idea of what you want to do, just grind it out. But if you want to go the college route and you want to do it faster, then do that. And if you want to just not go to high school at all, I don't know if that's legal or not though, but it's crazy how so many people pay hella money to get their kids into good programs and stuff in high school, but then they would end up in the same school as someone else who did not give two shit. That's funny, bro, because throughout high school, I was like, in the first 2 years, I was like grinding, and then I started falling off. I still got into a UC, and the homie, he was grinding his ass off, and he's got into UC too. I'm like, you were in IB and stuff, bro. You were in IB.
IB is the biggest.
You were in IB for 4 years, taking all AP classes, taking advanced math, and we're in the same position. So when it comes down to that, like, where's the logic that you have to spend thousands of dollars to make your kids better? If they're smart, they'll find ways to get in. And if they're not, it doesn't mean they're dumb. It's just that they're not meant for college. They're meant to do something else.
Yeah, what was Einstein's quote? If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will believe it's stupid for the rest of its life.
Yeah, and then another quote that I don't know what this quote is. I don't know what this quote is from. It could be made up by me. I don't know, because I do watch a lot of inspirational shit on Instagram. But there's only two options in life: equal opportunity or equal result. So let me break that down real quick.
So we get to the same spot with different opportunities, or we have the same opportunity and have different results.
Right. So equal opportunity is what you would call the U.S. Everyone born here has an equal opportunity, whether you're rich or poor. The government will help you get into college. They'll pay for college. High school is free. Just grind in high school. Elementary is free. You know, almost every single schooling is free.
Well, free in the sense that it's paid by tax.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay out of your own pocket. So it's equal opportunity. So whoever grinds the hardest will receive a better result, right? Or in some countries, it's equal results, which means that no matter where you are in life, no matter how hard you grind, I could be grinding like 110% and Shahir could be doing it at like 2%, and we'll get to the same spot, which is so unfair. And that's what a lot of lazy people want. They're like, oh man, I wish I was like that. He got lucky getting there. Like, I'm like, no, there's no such thing as luck, bro. We create our own luck.
We see so many people on social media and we think they're lucky. Dude, some of those people work way harder than who Meet Kevin is on YouTube?
Meet Kevin? Yeah, the guy that's running for the senator or whatever. Or
governor.
Oh, he's running for governor. Okay.
And he lost the election.
Oh, he did? Yeah. Oh, because Newsom is back, right?
Yeah. But what happened, right, is this guy, he'll go election debates and everything, and where he does the speeches and everything.
Yeah.
He'll do a speech. He'll upload a video. Then some news comes out, he'll record another video on that and upload it. And then he just constantly working. Then he's going looking at properties for real estate and everything. Those people work so hard. And he has 1 million something subscribers, right? And then you have people I'm not saying that these people don't work hard, right? But you have people that don't work as hard because he's working so hard, that have millions of subscribers, tens of millions of subscribers.
Right. Like Mr. Beast, he said that he uploaded 1,000 videos and edited 1,000 videos by himself before he gained 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and then he's edited thousands of videos before he even hired an editor.
Yeah.
And then all the money he makes, that's millions of dollars he makes.
He's one of my inspirations. So for him to be where he is, you can't hate him on that, bro. And I'm like, bro, we have to get there. But yeah, so I hope you guys, learn something from this. We do provide entertainment. We also provide theories. We provide a bunch of things, but we also like to share our experiences as we go and we try to become young entrepreneurs. We're not that big of an age difference compared to where kids are at now.
Yeah.
Because back when we were young, there was no such thing as retail investing. Yeah. It wasn't popular. But now, a lot of kids, I feel could make more in a day sitting listening to their teacher than their teacher make in a whole year.
Dude, yeah. If you're young right now, in your 15, 16, just learn. Learn about investing. Learn about content creating. That's what you want to do.
Because partying and stuff right now is cool and all that, but I promise you can party so much more when you have money. You party and going to all these high school parties and stuff like that. Yeah, you go here and there. You have fun. You drink and you hang out with girls and stuff.
I think making money is way fun. Way more fun.
If you focus right now, within the next 5 years, you could do the same thing with all your successful friends on a yacht or on a private island somewhere and just have 10 times the fun, So with that,
okay to make mistakes, just learn.
Yeah. So with that in mind, we'll see you on the next episode. Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what topic we should talk about, and comment if you like Squid Game, what you think.
And if you have any other theories